Call it bad voodoo, juju, or luck. It affected their careers. These omens have left many people wondering if this is bad luck or a curse, and if these athletes will live to play another day. Will they be able to play their chosen sport again after being benched? Will they be able to walk or talk after that massive crash? Stay tuned to find out more about athletes with the worst luck. First up, what is worse than bad sportsmanship? Amare Stoudemire is the NBA star that could knock out Mike Tyson. With a mighty left-hand punch, he almost won the fight between him and the fire extinguishers case. The NBA star was agitated by the 104-94 loss and decided to take his aggression out on the fire extinguisher, smashing his hand into the glass. He suffered a severe cut to his left hand as medics rushed to his aid in the locker room. He got some stitches and had to wear a sling for a while, but ultimately he lost his groove. With new arrivals and a bad knee injury, he suffered to keep up with the new pace of the Knicks. Nigel Mansell is an unlucky F1 driver. He had a promising start at Lotus, marking him as one great driver. At the end of an F1 party, Ron Dennis played a compilation of all Nigel's slip-ups. Nigel almost came back in a blaze of glory as he almost won the 1986 championship, but he sadly had a blowout with only 19 laps to go. His sights on third place made it much worse as he would have won the championship. As the year passed, Nigel missed his opportunity again as a loose wheel nut cost him the Hungarian Grand Prix. He missed a gear change in the Italian Grand Prix, resulting in a loss, and an accident in the qualifying round gave his partner Nelson Piquet the win in Japan. Later on, as years passed, Nigel got his chance as he won 9 races, taking him to the championship. This does not mean Nigel's luck turned. Nigel crashed just 17 minutes into his first appearance at the Le Mans 24-hour race. Next, are sports curses real? The real answer should be no. But thanks to EA's amazing cover art of Madden, some might say otherwise. Peyton Hills was a great player with a lot of potential with a spur of bad luck after he was on the cover of Madden 12, a video game created by Electronic Arts. His career went into a downward spiral. He was sent to the Kansas City Chiefs in 2012, but didn't click with the team. The next season, he went to the Buccaneers hoping he could salvage his career, but he suffered a thigh injury in the first preseason game. Peyton went from an aspiring player on the covers of magazines and video games to a player who struggled to hold his place in a team. He is currently a volunteer coach at Siloam Springs High School in his home state of Arkansas. He's just one of many who had a streak of bad luck after being on the cover of the Madden games. Luckily, Tom Brady never got bit by the unlucky bug as he made 3 touchdown passes at the Super Bowl 55, leading them to a 31-20 victory. But the same can't be said for Marshall Faulk, who was on the cover of the 2003 video game. Marshall was a fast player until he suffered a serious ankle injury that slowed him down, from which he couldn't recover. We can't definitively say that this curse is real, but many athletes rue the day they were put on the cover. So do athletes stand a chance of returning after a major injury? With the answer to that question usually ending in a no, it is quite sad to see how many career-ending injuries there are. Bo Jackson suffered a severe injury resulting in the end of his career. This injury happened when he was tackled from behind by an opposing player from the Bengals team. Bo had a very bad injury to his hip, ultimately halting his NFL career, and his baseball career soon followed. Other players like Patrick Lambie, a great rugby player who C.J. Stander tackled in a match between Ireland and South Africa, were left with a concussion and a retirement plan. After he suffered the concussion, paramedics removed him from the field, resulting in a long and continuous struggle with his health. He left South Africa and started playing in the European League, where he suffered another devastating knock to the head. He played on and suffered a leg injury in the next match. He decided to retire, but he is still dealing with headaches, stating that he still wakes up with headaches that feel like he is hungover, just without all the fun of the night before. Dean Ashton, another player who suffered a career-ending injury, a player with great promise, played for West Ham United. His injury started when he got hurt on the training grounds. His side hoped he would recover quickly, but the recurrence of the injury made it very hard for him to play, sadly ending his career. Now, does sickness count as bad luck? The sickness does count as bad luck when you contract it in the hospital. For David Bust, an English footballer who was playing in a match between his team, Coventry City, and Manchester United in 1996. The accident happened when Bust collided with not one but 2 of the Manchester players. This resulted in a compound fracture in both the bones of his right leg. This was one grotesque scene, and Bust almost lost his leg. The worst part is that Bust contracted the MRSA virus, a staph infection that is hard to treat as it is resistant to some antibiotics. After having 26 subsequent surgeries, Bust was forced into retirement. Next, can animals animals be unlucky? In today's society, we don't have gladiator fights or carriage racing, but we still have horse racing. These amazing animals are the athletes of this sport and the jockeys. In 2012, a fan favorite, I'll Have Another, had to retire after he suffered an injury in his left front leg tendon. Doug O'Neill, the owner of I'll Have Another, was quite saddened by the loss of his underdog horse, who won that year's Kentucky Derby. This shows that injuries affect not only the athlete, but the coaches as well.
Thanks for asking me, and I love the sound of the mare had that many starts, and here in Sadler Wells in the pedigree is so strong as well.
Now, does a repeat of the past count as bad luck? The New Zealand captain, Kane Williamson, had one massive streak of bad luck. At the 2019 Cricket World Cup, the Kiwis lost to England after they had a tied super over. The New Zealand captain lost the trophy as the English chipped more boundaries in quicker succession than their opposing team. Later in the 2021 ICC T20 World Cup, we see the Kiwis back in the finals facing Australia. The hopes for an easy win were put to rest as Australia breezed into an easy victory with 8 wickets to spare. This left Kane with the burden of facing loss again. Hopefully, we will see New Zealand win the World Cup with Kane Williamson as their captain one day.
Bit of bottom hand into it, flicks it over. Boundary for Kane Williamson. Waqas Maqsood just straying on his pads, paying the price.
Lastly, death is the ultimate loss to any sport. Sadly, death happens to us all, and if you put yourself out there as an athlete, there's even a higher chance, especially in sports like boxing, UFC, rugby, and any other contact sport. Ray Chapman is a tragic example of how unlucky people can be. Ray Chapman was one great shortstop who played for the Cleveland Indians. Ray suffered a severe injury when the pitcher, Carl Mays, hit him in the head with a pitch, which resulted in the death of this amazing baseball player. Another great athlete we lost was Ayrton Senna, one of the best Formula One drivers with 41 wins, 80 podiums, and 3 championships. It was a sad day when the world lost Senna. Senna's accident happened due to a faulty steering column. This column failure was caused by bad design and badly installed modifications, but sadly, bad luck also had its fair share in the equation, because if the crash had ended up differently, he might have still been here with us. Another tragic death is the UFC fighter Tyrone Mims. The 30-year-old fighter was looking fatigued in the second round against his opponent, and the referee stopped the fight. Tyrone was communicative and responsive. He was escorted back to the locker room, where he went unconscious. Tyrone was taken to the hospital as EMS tried to revive him. Tyrone died at the hospital, and even after the autopsy, they could not find anything wrong with him, and nothing could explain his death. Something to note, athletes have a tough time. Most athletes put their bodies on the line to entertain us. Whether they are playing American football or soccer, football, they put their bodies on the line, and bad luck can strike any time. It can be career-ending injuries, losses after losses, or even death. Bad luck can come and knock on any player's door. This concludes our video of athletes with the worst luck. If you have any stories from your athletic days you would like to tell us or have any feedback to share, remember to leave a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. Thanks for watching.